Thank you to our sponsor, Ayana. With over 100 EV charging locations now open to customers, Ayana is reimagining what public charging should be in the US. Reliable, fast, and easy to use. Every Ayana rechargery is built with the customer in mind. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec video. You join me and my good friend Jose, who you've seen through so many videos in the past.
Are you tired of me yet?
No, I love hanging out
I appreciate it.
We've had the best freaking time.
We have. It's been a good time.
Not only do I love Jose because he's a great dude and a good friend, and we've been friends for a long time, and a great supporter, but he literally let us do all of our testing with his brand new Rivian R2.
And I know what you're thinking. That is crazy, and you're right. But I am not a sane man, so here we are.
Yeah, so I appreciate you doing that, because I think what we tried to do over our, basically 3.5 days together was to demystify and benchmark as much as we could on R2. And by doing that, what I've done over the last few years is I've developed a series of tests that we run every electric car in to see how they stack up against each other.
Yeah, so good that so many others have copied.
Yeah, some have, and I love it. I mean, we need more testing out there. Yeah. And I really feel strongly that our testing is great. And I really hope our viewers enjoyed all of the videos we made on this.
Yep.
So in summary, what I want to do in this video is talk about everything we did, the results of everything we did, our impressions with the R2, and some key takeaways.
Perfect.
Such as the car never faulted on us one time.
No, even when we ran it to dead, all we got was a turtle.
And then it just shut off.
And that was it. Zero error, nothing else.
I've been so impressed with, actually our R1S, which is a multiple-year-old product that they've been working on, bugged out more in the last 3 days than this brand new product. And I was kind of worried because I saw the initial R2s breakdowns on test drives. And
you hear the people tend to post that type of stuff online versus my car's great.
Right, you don't post every time you make it to the store perfectly.
Right, oh, I made it at Costco today and it's great.
Yeah,
no.
Although maybe we should, to be totally fair. But that's what this video is all about, to say,
but yeah,
genuinely, this worked great.
There's been issues. There's going to be issues.
Yeah.
But not all of them are going to have issues.
Let's start with what we did. You showed up here on Friday afternoon.
Yes.
And what did we initially do with your car? We did 10% challenge.
We did 10% challenge.
So we took it to Wilson, North Carolina.
Yep.
We did a 10% starting charge for 15 minutes, then drove 80 miles an hour. That video is live on the reviews channel.
Yep.
And it did reasonably okay. It charged really well.
We learned how good of a curve it has for what it is.
It's probably the best 400-volt charging vehicle in our market, or at least close to it. I can't think of one that comes close, other than the Chevy Spark EV that goes from 10 to 80 in 10 minutes. That's a monster.
That car is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, you got to drive that around.
I got to drive that.
So we plugged in the charger. We found that, charging performance looks decent, and if not good, even for being a low-voltage architecture.
Right.
Which low voltage matters less when the battery's smaller. Then we took it on the 10% challenge and noticed worse than expected efficiency.
And spoiler alert, that's not the first time we'll say that.
Right, exactly. And one of the problems we had with the Rivian was that the EPA range ratings indicate such a positive number, a positive efficiency value. And that's what set the expectation was, even if we're a little bit under that, we're
And for the record, that's EPA rated 330.
EPA rated 330 on the big wheels.
On the big wheels, not these. These are 303.
Right.
Which
we didn't do any testing.
We have not done any testing with these. These are just been put back on.
Right. And so they're not even broken in or anything. We can't do testing on them. You actually break them in on the way to Florida, so maybe you can run it through some tests.
I was going to say, I have 600 miles home, so they'll be broken in.
Subscribe to Rivian Tracker's YouTube channel so you can see everything. So we found, highway efficiency not looking so great.
Right.
After we did all the 10% challenge, the number came back to essentially a good road tripping performance.
Yes.
For a brand new car in 2026, it feels a bit weak because it's matching cars from 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
But also keep in mind that it has this design package, which looks amazing.
But it's a box.
And it's a box.
It's a box.
So you can't beat physics.
You can't beat physics. Yeah.
So we found that out and we're like, okay, that's what we expected, but weird how it got such a good EPA number. So then the next day it was pouring rain.
It was pouring rain,
And we
unlike
were
right now where it's
right.
trillion degrees.
We also, throughout the whole week, did multiple charge tests. So I want to talk about its charging performance.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yep.
But it was pouring rain. We decided we can't do any testing. We can't do any performance stuff.
Nope.
It was too early to shred the tires because we still had range testing to do.
And I'm glad we waited for that.
Yeah, because the tires will just delaminate. We'll show everyone that.
Yep.
We decided to tow with it.
We decided to tow with it.
We put 4,400 pounds on the back, which is the maximum tow rating, and found that it towed wonderfully.
Yeah, way better than I anticipated.
Yeah, this thing, we put a pretty big trailer on there,
Yep.
26, 27
We
feet
maxed out. Yeah, we maxed it out.
Full weight,
Yep.
and you could barely tell there was anything behind
And we had 4 adults in the car.
That's right.
3, 4 adults.
3 adults, I think.
Yep. So like, you know, it wasn't just like, you know, a thin person. We're big people.
Yeah, absolutely. We were at max payload, max tow.
Yeah.
So loaded it to the maximum.
It felt great. It didn't feel like you were towing anything.
Yeah, and let's show everyone back here actually. So if you come to the back of the car, there is a tow hitch cover that pops off the R2, and there's just a 2-inch receiver and a 7-pin.
Yep.
And honestly, if you're going to tow a light car like a Miata to the track day, or if you have an aluminum light trailer, you could tow a little bit heavier car, horse trailer with one horse or 2 horses, probably two small-ish horses, like a boat to the lake, a light boat, you could do it.
Now, Kyle, you said you were a little disappointed. You were hoping it would do maybe 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, I think the tow rating for it feels a bit light.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than Model Y, which we have one right here, which is 3,500 pounds. So that's more beneficial.
But I also feel like, I don't know, there's something about the R2 versus the Model Y where the R2 just feels like more, it's more truck.
It's more capable.
It's more capable. So like it should be able to do more and more.
Well, you would think it would do more than a Porsche Macan Electric, which is a much kind of more
small,
sporty, smaller.
And a lot of people are not going to be towing with that.
Right, even though they should, because Porsches tow really well.
Yeah.
But that's 5,500 pounds. So that's kind of really good. But also air suspension.
Sure.
And a big brake package.
Air suspension makes a difference, yeah.
And I was just really hoping for 5,000. That would have felt like a great number.
That would, yeah.
Well, I don't know what the compromise would have been.
Yeah.
Maybe a stiffer ride quality, right? So there's always a give and take.
Yeah.
And could you put 5,000 pounds on here and it not explode? Probably so.
Probably.
But we can't recommend that.
Right, no. And I mean, at the end of the day, more people are going to daily drive this with not towing anything.
Right. But
and so I think Rivian went for that general audience.
I just think it's kind of weird to me that it wasn't rated higher because it tows so well at maximum.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like we were overloading. We weren't, but it didn't even feel like we were stressing there.
No, and it settled. Obviously, there was a little bit of sag in the back as expected.
Yeah.
But it settled very nicely. Like it wasn't bad.
So we did all of that. Then we got it back from towing, and we did what after that? We've been doing so much. This was
so many things in like the last 72 hours.
What did we do Saturday? Sure. Oh, I think we ran the Model Y efficiency comparison.
Yes.
So one of the
50, 60, 70, 80.
Yeah, so there was a break in the weather, not enough for a full range test and not enough.
A lot of the floor was still wet and all that.
Right, so what we decided to do was to verify a claim, which was something that I had as a nice to have if we had the vehicle here in terms of getting videos in.
And the weather made it a nice to have.
The weather made it possible and really the only thing we could have chosen to do. So we ran this and the Model Y side by side at multiple speed ranges to basically look at their efficiency.
At 50, 60, 70, and 80 miles per hour.
And then we did a city simulation.
We did a city simulation
so fun.
on the track. Yeah. We had fake cops pull us over. We had fake traffic lights. It was great. And we had a fun time, but that simulated what it would be to have stop and go traffic around a city and all that.
Right.
So,
and the reason we did that was, well, I like to actually, when I have a lot of time with vehicles, look at their efficiency across multiple speed. I'm pretty sure I did that while towing with the R1 when it first launched. So it's not the first time we've done something like that.
Yeah.
But this has a very efficient rating in the EPA cycle.
Very efficient.
Whereas the Model Y Performance, which is actually a true direct competitor,
right.
Even though this is much more capable off-road and that has much more capable ADAS or whatever, you know, they all have their strengths and weaknesses.
There's people who are cross-shopping them.
100%.
Yeah.
And so the reason we ran them side by side was not just because they're cross-shopping, but actually something that RJ had said to me, which is the fact that this matched the efficiency of the Model Y.
Yep.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, and
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Because in the EPA test cycles and on the government website,
when you look at the paper,
this is 105 mpge.
Yep, and so is that.
And so is that. And I was like, how can this be the same efficiency as that?
How can this box beat an egg?
And to distill it down into a short summary, this was run in a totally different set of test criteria than the Model Y.
You have to look at the details.
Right.
And that's where it's so easy to jump to conclusions. And I mean, I reported it, right? I had reported on my site, like, because that's what the detail, RJ had said that we had the documentation, and it was like, yep, Model Y, and everybody was like, I don't know about that. Turns out they were right.
Yeah, turns out that they are not equal.
They are not equal. Not all things are equal here.
Right, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think it's, well, now at least the truth is out
It's
there.
Expectations. It's all about setting expectations, and you want to just set the right expectations. And
like if I was RJ, I would have said, look, we optimized better for the EPA cycle. We went through the actual 5 cycle. The car's got a pretty high advertised range. Could you hit 330 miles on this car? Absolutely.
Sure.
If you drive slow and consistent.
Yeah.
However, it's important to note that Tesla did not optimize for model year 26. Tesla has sort of an internal mission. I know when I was talking to Lars Moravi, who's head of engineering at Tesla, he said, we want our customers to meet the advertised range in the real world. And so Tesla used to game the system.
I remember everybody always complained about it.
And no one got the range that was desirable. So they said, look, we're just going to be honest about the range, which means they have to kind of play the EPA game
of course,
in the other way to make the cars look worse.
Which, you know, I think it's kind of better. Like, you go in knowing, oh, I'm going to get this range, and then you get more range.
Right.
Like, I feel like, what a surprise. Like, that's great.
And I would say in the case of Teslas, they pretty much match EPA in all of our testing. And the case here for the Rivian is they optimized the test, optimized everything they did for the highest advertised range number. Now, could they have maybe optimized more? Yeah. I mean, they could have derated a little bit too.
Sure.
But clearly different approaches.
Yeah.
So not only did we verify the efficiency being worse on this than Model Y, which is not a shock, we then ran a 70 mile per hour highway range test of this versus that. And the reason we did that was they're direct competitors. This has a higher EPA range rating. So even though they have the same efficiency in the EPA cycle, this has more range because it's a bigger battery.
Bigger battery.
So this is just about 87.9 kilowatt hours usable is what Rivian claims. And we pulled almost 90 out of it.
We almost pulled 90, so there's a buffer.
There is. There's definitely some more usable energy than what Rivian says, which isn't bad because they could have run it in a certain drive cycle that is harder on the battery.
And we've talked about this a lot already, but like with R1, for example, it helps with degradation, right?
Well, so that's sort of they kind of, R1 is interesting because we don't really know how they do it yet.
Exactly.
Is it a hidden buffer that expands to hide it, or do they make it go below 0 less?
Right.
As far as we can calculate, our R1S only has 4.5% degradation.
So good.
In 1 year and 20,000 miles, which it's over a year, which is way better than Tesla stuff.
I've heard 16, 18%.
They have terrible degradation, the new Tesla Panasonic cells especially. And that's something to keep in mind is Rivian seems to care about the long-term durability of their battery pack much more than Tesla seems.
I have always said, I joked around when I had my R1T, but I always said, I wish Rivian would have an option where it says, I'm leasing this and I don't care about battery health, let me rip it.
Okay,
Set mode.
Yeah.
So like I could just like, just give me everything. Because I'm not going to keep it long enough to worry.
Right.
They're not going to do that because they do know that owners are going to keep these cars for a long time.
Yes.
And they just want them to have the best experience.
Yeah, it's I think that's the correct approach.
Yeah.
So in the range testing, the car that has less EPA range, 306 miles in the Model Y, went 64 miles farther than this. Is that the correct number?
That's the correct number.
Was it 64 miles?
I think so.
We think,
give or take.
Around 60 plus miles.
It hurt a little bit. Only because this is where Rivian, my understanding is it's a linear charging, it shows you linear charging, it's a
discharge curve.
Discharge curve. It's always going to show you 330 when you charge.
Right, it just goes to EPA at full. Yeah.
And so reality is as soon as we hit 10% and below, the numbers were dropping like flies.
Becomes nonlinear at that point.
It's like, okay, this is not real.
Yeah, so you really don't want to target like a 2% arrival.
You don't.
Because 2% might mean 0.
But on the flip side, I just want to add this caveat. Rivian's navigation does play very conservative.
Yeah.
So it will say you'll arrive with 2%, but that every stop I had, it said I would stop with a lower state of charge than I actually arrived with.
Oh, so you would always outperform its estimate. That's probably the better way to do it.
Yes and no, because, as we like to min-max it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I want to make it there and I'll make it with 2%, but then you arrive with 9%.
And you're like, ah, damn.
And you're like, but there's not enough to get to the next one. So it's like, oh, I could have charged less at the last one, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's just us, but most people,
They just want
they're
to
just going to get there, they're going to plug in, 15 minutes later, they'll be able to go.
So how far did this go in the 70 mile per hour test? Indicated range was 256?
256 point something, yeah.
Was that at 70? Because there was a period of time where you fell off 70.
Yeah, that was at 70.
Okay.
So I took that photo exactly as soon as 70 stopped.
Right, and we, in the range test numbers, will explain if we have to, we haven't run the data yet.
Not yet,
If we have to basically add a little bit of a correction factor, just because of the speedometer being off.
Speedometer, yeah, we've learned a little bit about that too. Every car is a little bit different with how they measure miles, and amazingly, I don't understand how that's different, but
yeah. And the Tesla's way off.
Way off.
Yeah, it's like 3 miles an hour off at times, at 80 miles an hour.
It was kind of, I remember we were keeping 70, you know, GPS, and like the Tesla had to like keep adjusting speed
to get in the right
keep
zone.
it.
But the coolest thing was we ran 2 cars with totally different EPA results, with totally different real world results, same day, same time, side by side.
Identical.
Perfect test.
We even for those who say, oh, well, you were drafting, we alternated.
Everyone had different positions.
We never were never
in fact,
behind.
this actually got a little bit more advantage because you spent the least amount of time leading the pack.
Yes.
But we're spaced out so far. Aero makes no difference.
So far.
Here's the other thing about that. This has nothing to do with Rivian or Tesla rating their cars.
Yeah.
It's more of a story around EPA allowing multiple test cycles.
Yes.
And multiple variances, where I think we just need a much better way to advertise range of vehicles, because clearly it means nothing.
It doesn't.
It doesn't mean a thing.
And
so that's all the efficiency stuff, right? Then we did range testing, which I think is, to my impression, a bit weak on the car. 250 miles at 70, and that's 100 till it dies. And most people aren't going to run it below 0.
No, and I actually would recommend not.
Right.
Because we learned that there really truly isn't a lot of buffer there.
Yeah, once it hits 0, well, how far did you go in the run to 0 past 0?
9 miles.
9 miles
or so.
But that's at low speed. You might get half of that on the highway.
So at that point, I was not able to maintain highway speeds. You know, it dropped from, you know, maybe I was doing 50, 55, and then it just kept dropping. So
right.
As soon as you definitely don't want to get 0 on the R2 as of today. Like, I would not recommend that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of buffer.
Yeah.
But not at 70 miles an hour. You'll be dropping speed.
Yes. Which can be dangerous, so don't do that on the highway.
I thought that was the car.
I thought the car was about to fall off. I was like, this is how it is.
Alex moving the jack. Okay, so that's all range and efficiency. Feels a bit weak in efficiency and range.
Yep.
But it's got a nice battery and great charging. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about charging.
This takes 630 to 650 amps from the charger. There is no current public charger that can give us 630 to 650 amps. So all of our testing was done on 600 amp equipment, and which means we've logged the 0 to 100 and 10 to 80, both on 600 amp Alpitronic HIC 400s. And superchargers, which are 500 amps, because we think a lot of R2 owners will use superchargers.
The convenience. Yeah, it's very convenient.
Plug and charge, it'll just work, it'll be great. So my impression is, well, I haven't parsed through the data yet, but I think it's actually going to be worth it to find those Alpis, use the Iona and the Walmarts with the adapter on CCS for Walmart until ABB gets high current NACS cables, which are coming.
And something else we learned was that it does really well with thermals when charging.
Yeah, that's a great point.
In the heat.
Call out. We have not had thermal problems with the R2.
0. And that is something R1 is very well known for.
And I talked to Max Koff, who's the lead engineer about this car, multiple times now. And I keep telling him, like, dude, you know we keep complaining and running. He's like, I know. He's like, just wait till you try R2. And he was totally right.
They did it, guys. Yeah, the battery never hit above 120 Fahrenheit. And even then, like, it just kept cool, and it wasn't loud at charging.
So that was by the ABRP app.
Yes.
Which the car always was a bit warmer than what that said.
Yes, and that's just because the car will not tell you real life battery temp while charging.
Because the ride menu is not accessible.
We tried.
Yeah, can't get into ride.
We can't get in there. I asked, but that question was purposely ignored.
Okay.
But we will get
We really wanted the nerd data. Eventually, this car will be benchmarked properly with the test data. But as far as we can tell, it can cool itself without any major thermal problems.
And that was with HVAC running and all that, so we were not
not while charging. Only the 10% challenge was with HVAC running.
But that one still did well.
It did well. It does feel like if you turn HVAC off, it does help the battery pack quite a bit. Because I was running into thermal creep performance driving with HVAC on. That you can get it hot, but it's not too bad. Oil-cooled motors worked really well. We heard the oil pumps screaming.
We heard them,
yep, when we came off track, so that works.
It works.
And I'm very pleased with the overall thermal package on the car.
We also don't want to forget that Alex got underneath.
Right, we did
took a look.
the Down Under review.
The Down Under review, and we also got to check out the powerhouse that sits underneath the rear passenger seats.
That's right.
Or like the rear bench, where the 12-volt battery is and a bunch of connectors and all that. So
and that was really well done under there.
It's so well organized.
Yeah.
And the whole bottom of the car, like it's flat. It's really nice.
Has a nice kind of thick plastic skid.
Really
plate,
well, I think. No worries. And so overall, like the packaging is really nicely done.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
This car is optimized way better than R1.
Right.
For cost and for just the way it's put together. They've grown up as a company.
I love it.
This shows it.
I love it.
They've done a really nice job.
Yeah.
Then after all of that was today, right? Because we finished testing yesterday.
Yeah, you did your braking tests on Saturday night.
Did, straight line longitudinal performance testing. So 0 to 60, eighth mile, quarter mile, passing time, and braking distances. It basically stops identical to R1, which is pretty impressive from the R1 side. But then it stops identical to that car within a foot or two.
Perfect.
Which is really, I think, totally acceptable braking. Considering the lack of grip the tires have on the road, it's actually not that bad.
Especially these tires,
And maybe my perception of the lack of grip on the road on these tires, because they are eco-focused tires, really comes down to this car masking some of the speed.
Sure.
So you end up flying more, and you're like, it doesn't really feel like you're going fast.
It doesn't.
Because you are kind of up high.
Yeah.
And that could lead to the perception, because I was really impressed with the performance numbers. First of all, 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds. I think we logged 3.67.
Yep.
And we'll have the testing video. I haven't parsed the data yet, but
there's a lot of data to go through. Yeah.
3.6 second was our best. But what the real story is the quarter mile.
The quarter mile.
Because that's faster 0 to 60.
Yes.
But this is faster in the quarter mile.
Everything after about 50 miles per hour, this just
smokes it.
Smokes it.
And so I don't know why they're nerfing the 0 to 40 or 0 to 45. Because it definitely is like slow, 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 and then brr.
Yeah, just give it all. Give it all.
So it would be great to bring that power in earlier.
Yeah.
But it's got the power up top.
It's there.
And dude, this thing was running 11.5 in the quarter at 127 miles an hour. Actually under, I think it was like 11.4.
It was 11.3.
Did we dip under 11.4?
I mean, let me see.
You have the screenshot.
You gave me the, I have it here because you told me to note it.
So many numbers.
I know there's a lot of numbers, but we did 11.3 on the quarter mile.
Wow.
127.
Dude, low 11s out of a mom SUV is crazy.
We call him mom. Yes.
Really impressive. So the performance in R2 Performance is very real and very true.
It holds to its yellow accents.
So I think that's pretty much everything. Maybe we missed a thing here or there.
Yeah.
But then today we got the real performance stuff done.
You did what you were looking forward to.
And you always have to wait for the performance stuff to the end because tires end up like this.
And I will say the weather did great to let us do this today.
Right, totally.
Yeah, how about this app?
I would have almost preferred rain so we could spend more time sliding it around. But yeah. So what we did today was we first started with a one-lap review of the car. We have a YouTube channel called One Lap, if you're not familiar. It's been sporadically posted on. It only has a few thousand subscribers.
I don't even think I knew that existed.
Yeah, and it's something I've always dreamt about, really building a catalog of logging lap times, of tractors, of cars, of anything.
Everything.
Boats. And we should actually run the tractor. I just thought about that. We have it here, so we'll run that.
Oh, Lord.
Just to log anything with wheels.
Yeah.
And this set a 1 minute 48 lap time.
Yep.
Which is kind of not the most impressive lap time ever. I'm not like the best driver in the world.
Sure.
But I can set a pretty consistent, reasonable time around here. And I also set the lap
And I
times
feel
for
like
all
as
the
long
cars.
as you're consistently not great,
yeah,
then at least you have a benchmark.
Right. So I go as fast as I can go without putting like the car totally at risk of going off the track.
Sure.
So it's sort of a 9/10 thing, but it's also a performance review of the car, subjective feedback, which to me matters more than the outright lap time.
Exactly.
And I was really impressed with the fun character. It didn't have the serious sort of Porsche locked-in vibe, right? It's not on rails, as some people say.
Sure. That was the first thing you said when you finished driving. You're like, "This is so much fun."
Yes. It doesn't lead to a great lap time,
but you can have fun.
It's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
It had really interesting brake feel with the brake-by-wire.
Brake-by-wire, which is due for Rivian.
Yeah, which it doesn't do brake fade. It does, what I should say is it does a ton of brake fade compensation. So the brakes feel fine. Oh, there's nothing there.
There's nothing left.
So ran into that a few times and then we would just cool the brakes down. They'd come back.
Yeah.
I was really honestly okay with the braking package, but it's not suited for a track day, but neither is the car. Car's not intended for that purpose. So the one lap review should be live by the time this video goes live. Hopefully everyone enjoys it, get a really good impression of what it's like to carve up a back road or carve around a track for a lap.
Yeah.
Then we did some drag racing.
That was fun.
We drag raced it against R1S dual motor max pack performance, which had like 10 more horsepower.
10 more horsepower.
And launches way harder than this thing.
Yes.
Dude, the R1S smokes it off the line by like 2 car lengths. And then you hit 40 miles an hour.
And this like decides to, oh, I have to do something.
It like turns on.
But like, and as a thought, just as a reminder, like we're talking about an R1S that's 2,000 to 2,500 pounds more.
Yeah.
Which is just heavy. And you think about like 10 horsepower.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a lot.
It's not. That's why horsepower for electric motors don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's just a marketing term, a marketing number.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can actually rate electric motors at different horsepower. You can rate it.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into it.
We don't need to get into it. But yeah, so we did that. We had to test that and Sun.
And they had perfect stopping distances.
Identical, practically.
Which shows, okay, R1 had a bit more grip in that tire versus this one. And it's not
Does that speak well? What does that speak well for?
The R1.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, really good brakes.
Because it's a bigger boy.
Yeah, the R1 has very little thermal capacity in the braking test.
Yeah.
But when the brakes are not hot, they're incredibly strong. And you can just stop that big behemoth on a dime.
You have to.
It really comes down to the tire more than the braking package.
Sure.
It's just a really good tire, that Pirelli Sport tire for the Rivian.
Yeah.
Okay, then we drag race this against the Model Y Performance, which that is faster to 60 miles an hour.
Yep.
And this is faster in the quarter mile.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what we experienced.
Exactly what you
Model
thought.
Y would pull ahead, and then the R2 would wake up and reel it in.
Right.
But it was slow. It's like just at the quarter mile we passed at the same time.
And yeah, we did it a few times, and like we were like, okay, but then once we got going, it was like, oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the and then we
had to get our launches timed.
For science, we tested multiple times, and it kept kind of the results were similar. So
Right.
we realized, okay, that's what it is.
And drag racing is just fun. Does it in the real world? Are you ever going to pull up next to one of those at the same SOC and ready to go? No.
There's a trillion. Yeah.
This is entertainment content for the viewers.
Exactly.
That's really it.
Exactly.
Then we finished everything up with our performance review,
You did.
which is basically just dialing this thing into sport mode and then rally mode
Yep.
and absolutely hooning.
Rally mode is so much fun.
Dude, holy smokes. I was a little bit disappointed with the range.
Yeah.
For my own use case, it's a little weak on the
Sure.
range. I mean, our R1S went over 120 miles farther. Oh, no, 110 miles farther than this. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
That means because I don't like to charge my batteries to full, my 70% range is still more than this thing at 100.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is that true? I don't know. In the region. But regardless, I was really impressed with our R1S in the range test and really disappointed with this in the range test. It's a box.
So was I.
I just didn't like the fact that the EPA cycle, I'm not going to blame Rivian, but the test that Rivian decided to run in the EPA cycle misled us on real world range.
By so much.
By a major
Yeah, because if it was a little bit, okay, whatever.
Of course, we always expect
There's
to come
factors.
in plus or minus on EPA, typically minus.
And I mean, people are like, oh, well, you were using universal hands-free and that uses energy. We're talking 200 watts.
We calculated at its peak power, UHF is 200 watts of load, which would have been 1.7 miles on the test.
Not enough.
And that's at maximum capability.
Not enough to do anything.
No.
No.
There's too many other variables than
So
UHF.
many. So many.
Don't worry about that. Anyone watching, that's not a concern.
Also, just like drive your car however you like.
Yeah, exactly. Now the range is going to be totally fine for most people.
Yes.
Who don't road trip a ton or whatever.
Perfect for around town.
Perfect for around town. Perfect for road trips. It's a great adventure vehicle.
Again, I did 950 miles from normal to here, North Carolina. I stopped twice to charge, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Maybe a little bit longer because I went to the bathroom and got snacks.
You're just going on a trip.
And it was fine.
Yeah, we do these benchmarking things just to give people the data, but we're not saying just because one goes farther is you have to buy that car.
That's the better one. Not at all. You buy what you like.
Buy what works for you. And there's a level of acceptability in the 10% challenge, which this falls well within.
Yes.
This is on the higher end of reasonable.
Correct.
And then before it gets into the really good category. This is it's 90 something miles in the 10% challenge. It's fine.
It's still
fine.
It's still perfect.
Yeah. So I actually thought that was okay. The performance testing, I just want to commend Rivian and Max's team and Luke's team.
Incredible, didn't they?
This is the most fun electric car you can buy.
Yeah.
It's more fun than Ioniq 5N because it's a bit more natural than the 5N.
I'm going to quote you on that.
It's true.
Cal Connor, most fun
because it's so soft and so kind of crazy to feel all the body motions. But then from a powertrain standpoint, they have all of my complaints with R1 are gone.
Are solved.
They have dialed in the powertrain control here.
Yep.
They do a slip target now based off of, let me get this right. So before, slip targets were based off of wheel speed, and now they do it based off of torque limits.
Okay.
And so when you get the car sideways, it just gives more and more and more torque when you want more, rather than saying, oh, you're on a high mu, we're only going to give you 10 miles an hour wheel speed over what you're doing. And the R1s, when you would slide them, would fall on their face and come back to center. This, when you're sideways and you give it more, it lights those tires up.
Yeah.
And you're just coming in backwards in the corners, just and then it's transitioned so nice, and the suspension does such a great job. It's high up. You can almost drop inside wheels off the grass. So like if you're coming into this corner, it almost feels like that front inside tire is just off the ground, and you're tripoding around. I am so blown away with the vehicle dynamics.
Yeah, they did a great job.
The funness, and no owner will ever do that with their car, because in 6 miles, your tires turn into that.
Ooh.
Literally 6 miles.
Yeah.
So no one will ever be able to experience the fun, at least on pavement. The nice thing is, all of those dynamics transfer perfectly to dirt, sand, and snow.
This is an all off-road capable vehicle.
Yeah, so when you take it in the snow, when you take it out in the dirt, you're going to have so much freaking fun in this car.
I look forward to doing that.
And I was like, okay, at first I drove the car and I was like, oh, dang, I really want one of these.
Yes, I remember you said that.
Then we did some testing and I was like, you know what, I do a ton of miles. Like for my use case, I really
It's not changed. I was like, no, I don't need it.
Yeah, I was like, the range is kind of lame. The charging is fine, but I want, like, it's 2026. I want a crazy charging vehicle. I want EX60 charging and iX5 charging, so on and so forth.
Right.
But then we just came off the performance testing.
And then you did the performance test.
And now I'm like, oh crap, I actually really do want one of these things again. If it just had insane charging and another 30 kilowatt hours in there, it would be in my driveway.
And FSD.
And FSD. That's a real big thing as well for me. The difference between these two cars is that one can drive itself.
Yeah.
This one you can drive pretty much wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
So if you're an adventurous type person, clearly this is the choice.
Yeah.
If you spend 99% of your time on pavement, maybe that's
especially like roads with stoplights and just traffic and.
Like I've got 50 stop signs on my commute.
Yeah,
that car just does everything.
Right.
So this will get it though. This supports level 2 point-to-point.
Coming soon, hopefully.
And then it's kind of like, well, why wouldn't you?
And
get
then
this?
it becomes well, what form factor works best for you?
Right.
And cargo and all that. And I'll be working on content with like how much, what cargo can you put in there and all that, because
dude, tons of space.
People keep asking. Yeah, there's hidden spaces, a massive frunk, a massive cargo area.
It's kind of is it called Tetris? What's the telephone booth that feels bigger on the inside than the outside?
TARDIS. From Doctor Who.
Thank you. I've never seen it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uncultured, I guess. Yeah, don't know. But it's one of those things where it's way bigger on the inside than the outside portrays.
Everybody keeps saying, Jose and Kyle, you guys are so massive, and I stand taller than the R2. I fit.
It's
more
a little guy.
Comfortable in here than I do in an R1S.
Actually, yeah, I got in our R1S and felt cramped.
Yeah.
And then you get in here and you're like, oh, this is
like
nice.
I keep adjusting the seat because I'm like, I feel like I'm way too far back. Like there's just too much space.
They did an amazing job with packaging.
The packaging, oh man, 10 out of 10.
The only place where the R2 kind of falls short is currently in driver assistance.
Yes.
Which it's already good highway driver assistance.
I was gonna say, if you're doing, like I did, again, 900 miles on highway strictly, perfect.
Fine.
10 out of 10, like I did majority of that.
Right, but most people commute.
Yes.
And this will support level 2 point-to-point. So that, hopefully Rivian delivers on that. And hopefully
crossed.
They deliver by the end of the year like they keep promising.
As they have been saying.
As an owner, I feel no indication of that happening. I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Hopefully a lot.
We don't.
Hopefully a lot.
Yeah, as I say, as of now, as of July 2026, there really hasn't been a new update on autonomy since December.
Yeah, that's
when
too
we
long.
got, and then I'm like, and so I don't want to get into all details, but like they have to get from where they are today to that.
Which is what they're claiming they can do.
There's a lot that needs to happen, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying, give me something.
Yeah.
Like, show me that that's happening.
Right.
Because I don't believe you.
Their little ride-along demo that I did at AI Day was not convincing.
It was very mediocre.
Yeah.
And
so.
So
I love the guys working on the team.
100%.
They're great people.
Yeah.
Make a great product, and we will be praising it
100%.
all day, every day,
100%.
just like we do with FSD.
Yep.
Okay, that's that.
That's that.
Great car.
Yep.
Needs a little bit more range, a little bit more. I don't want it to have more efficiency because then it would look uglier.
Yeah, I
So
don't
then just
want
put a
that.
bigger battery in.
I like the box. I'm a boxy guy. I like
Yeah.
boxy cars.
And the charging is totally acceptable.
I'm actually happy with the charging.
I'm happier with the charging than I expected.
Yeah.
There's very few things to complain about.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing a ton of long distance commuting, almost near perfect car.
And even if you are, or even if you are, as long as you have reliable charging.
Yeah, or if you're not in a rush to get places.
Yeah. So.
But the
driving comfort between this
Oh,
Y and
we had a couple viewer questions, right? So Timon's referencing one. What was it, Timon?
the ride comfort between Model Y R2.
Ooh. Yeah.
So the Model Y is a much more controlled ride quality, which means when you hit a bump, you hit it once and you're done.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit firmer overall than the R2.
Yeah.
But you get much less vehicle jostle.
Yes.
This is just a dialed-in suspension.
Now I have a question. Does that make a difference being performance versus, let's say, you get a standard
Yes,
model?
it has the adaptive damper like this, but that's what we're comparing.
But we're comparing, right? Apples to apples here.
So the Model Y performance with adaptive damper set to comfort is
Yep.
still firmer than this vehicle. Not on initial impact. The Rivian actually has quite a rough initial impact, but then it gets pretty soft when you
Yes.
start working into the suspension. So for secondary road textures, I actually give it to the Tesla. And the Tesla is just much less movement. However, I prefer the ride quality of the Rivian because
It's
while
so comfortable.
Yeah, but it is more comfortable,
Alex.
but you're doing this a lot.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
back end feels a little
Right.
undersprung, a little porpoisey, kind of R1S.
I was about to say, it feels like R1S a little bit there.
Yeah, it's got like they still
Which is interesting.
they do a great front end, but
Yeah.
they still have not mastered the rear suspension.
So weird. Although on R1T, it's
refinement.
great.
R1T is perfect.
So like, it's like that was the OG car. It's
Yeah.
like they got it, and then everything after that is like.
But we're totally nitpicking. The ride
We are,
quality for
we are.
any normal person, they're going to be happy with this. Don't even think about it.
yeah, I'm gonna fit my mother-in-law, my wife, and they're gonna be like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
They're
Any
not
other
gonna-
questions from the viewers on that video?
I have a personal question.
Yeah.
And FSD aside,
FSD aside,
what would you buy?
what would I buy?
Yes.
And it has to be a Model Y performance or an R2 performance? Right
Yes.
between these two? R2. What about for you?
No regrets. I would buy an R2 all over again. And
For me, it comes down to that ESP off rally mode. You cannot slide that car.
yeah. For me, it's a different experience. For me, it's just comfort, and like it's a fun vehicle to be in.
It's cool. It's a very positive looking
like
vehicle on
it's
the
just
road.
love it. I love the
And,
design. I'm not saying the Model Y is ugly.
No,
that's personal
but
opinion.
it
but
is.
like I love.
The front of the Model Y is bad.
I love like Rivian has. I'm gonna say something controversial.
Yeah.
I don't like the rear of the R1S.
No, I don't. That's what I said it in my reviews too.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
But I love the rear of the R2.
I agree.
Like they I don't know what happened with the R1S. The R1T looks so good.
Yeah.
And the R2 looks good, but the R1S is like, what's happening back there? Time is like, this is just another R1S.
It is.
What would you choose, Timon? Model Y or R2?
R2.
R2.
Yeah.
Because
Alex, Model Y or R2?
R2 every day.
Ooh, look at this.
R2
We got
every day. All right, let's ask FSD shill number one over here.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Honestly.
She's not feeling so great today. She's got the AC blasting in here. Hey, Scott. Hey, baby. Sorry. R2 or Model Y?
This is very difficult for me.
Okay, here, let me hand you the mic. Hold on. Sorry to throw the camera on you blind.
It's okay. Hello to my fans. R2 or Model Y? I still think Model Y because it drives itself, but I have the luxury of having an R1. What are you about to say?
I forgot to tell you. Timon said FSD aside because we're...
Oh, Timon's saying FSD aside,
Yeah.
R2. Because Model Ys are stark and boring and lame and no personality. And they don't have the cool factor.
But the driving itself outweighs everything.
Yeah, I'm a cool girl. I would rather have the R2.
Yeah.
And the day that Rivian can support point-to-points,
Yeah, when Rivian can support point to point, that would be incredible.
at that point it becomes...
But it's not. That day is not here.
That day is not here yet.
It's July of 2026,
Right.
and they can't do that right now.
That day is not
So,
here yet.
Wow,
But
Rivian chill.
who? Us?
You.
I've seen you. You've called yourself Rivian Show.
I'm a Rivian fangirl,
I love
but
Tesla. Tesla's good. They make good cars. I drove this.
Be my new ringtone for Jose. I love Tesla.
I do. I really do like Tesla. I just there's a lot of hype.
Tesla owners suck, but Teslas are cool.
I don't agree with that statement. I know lots.
I know a lot of
lovely
Tesla owners that are cool.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
I know.
I know. But
Actually, all of
yeah,
us-
the R2 has nobody can hear you.
I'm in and
You
out.
don't have a
Can you hear me
microphone
here?
on.
Yeah, I used to
can talk here.
own a Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it was fine. I had an early Model Y and it was great.
Yeah.
This was before everyone had a Model Y, so it was cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if Model Y.
I don't ever look at a Tesla, even the coolest
It doesn't
Tesla, and
matter.
think it's
Anyways,
cool.
the point is, it seems like R2 is the winner.
Yeah, it's great. It's
That's what.
It's the winner until you come back to reality, to the fact that it can't drive itself,
Right,
and
right,
this can.
right.
And then this is the winner again.
Are these the same price?
Oh, that's actually a couple grand more expensive.
That's a couple grand more expensive. It's worth it because it's way cooler.
It is.
Yeah, but also price-wise, that is way more expensive in leasing as well versus this, and most of these people are leasing these cars.
Oh yeah.
And Rivian has just not gotten leasing good. Like, it's just very expensive. Tesla offers great leasing opportunities.
That's because everyone who really wanted a Y has one, so
Yeah.
now they got to sell it to
Right.
normal people. Everyone who wants an R2 still hasn't gotten there, so they're trying to
Of course.
that money.
So off of those questions,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still FSD aside, which do you think is better for the 90% buyer of either of these cars? Model Y?
It just works, and the software integration's so great. And this has good software, but every time I walk up to this car, I can't get the damn thing to open.
Or it does unlock every time. It just depends.
Or sometimes it's always unlocking.
Yeah.
And that's, there's just a bunch of other things. I really think they're getting to the point where they're so close.
Yes.
Right? That
Yeah.
it's actually a Model Y competitor. Because every time we put a car on this channel, the Tesla's just so well integrated,
Yeah.
so well engineered, everything just works. It's simple,
Right.
but it also can do so much. It's literally one of these.
Yeah.
On
It
wheels.
is. It is.
Whereas no other car company has mastered the full system. And this comes the closest.
They're
And
working on it, right? That's what they're doing. That's what they want to do.
no other car company gets it,
Yeah.
except for Rivian.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm most excited about this car, is it is truly a competitor.
Yeah.
And in some areas, this is better, like we've shown. And in some areas, that's better, like we've shown.
100%.
But ultimately, you now can choose.
You can choose.
And we have not had anyone that could really choose without really losing a big ownership experience portion. And
And also, it should
This
be
is so awesome.
It should be said, like, because everybody's going to jump to conclusions and assume this, but we're not talking about a Tesla killer here. Like, that's not what this
no,
is.
this is not going to kill Tesla.
No, or a Model Y
No
killer.
single vehicle probably
Right.
could.
And I think, like, I just wanted to say that because,
Yeah.
like, people very quickly, as me being a Rivian guy, they're like, oh, you just want Tesla. Like, you think Rivian's going to kill Tesla. Not at all. I think they can live together.
Yeah, people don't want to drive an egg that looks like that everywhere.
Although that is a nice looking egg.
It's the performance one.
Yeah, yeah.
But
that's
this
my
is,
favorite
this
egg.
is a desirable product,
Yeah.
and that's a really good toaster on wheels.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to
A toaster on
throw
wheels.
a microwavable food thing in the microwave and eat it. Although I've never used a microwave at our house, but
What's wrong with you?
I don't really like the taste of food after a
It's because it
microwave.
makes it soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Air fryer's better.
Okay, so that's an air fryer.
Yeah.
And this is
An iMac. I don't know.
what is like something cool you have at your house? This
A
is like
Rivian R1.
yeah, I don't know.
A what?
A Traeger. Yeah, this is a Traeger. This is a smoker right here.
Oh yeah, there you go. Blackstone.
and that's an air fryer.
I love my Blackstone
Yeah,
grill.
it takes maybe a little bit more effort to use it. You got to drive the damn thing.
Yes.
Versus that one, you just hit the button. But
But the results are fun.
this is the enthusiast choice.
Isn't that crazy to think? That's not,
I honestly expected the car to break. I expected fault codes. And the only thing that's broken on the car
yeah.
are these emergency releases,
Oh yeah, and I don't even want to say they're broken. They're just not
No, they are.
attaching correctly.
which means it's broken.
So
Alex, is that considered broken or not broken?
What, the things in the rear
Yeah,
door cards
that
keep
don't
popping
slot
up?
in.
I mean, I would say it's a broken is one word to describe it. Yes, it's not.
How would you
optimized.
describe it?
I mean, it clearly doesn't work properly.
Every time we push them in, you close the door and they pop back out.
yeah, they're like it's just like the clip suck.
Can you show the viewers? Okay, cool.
And for those who don't know what those are the emergency release door handles from the back. So,
Thankfully, the release still works.
thank God.
They're always accessible.
They're always accessible.
Every R1 unrelated, but R1S rear door hand really hard to get to the emergency. Here it's like it just pops open for you.
At the end of the day, this car truly is up there with some of the greats. How cool is it that a relatively new car company can come, and we're comparing it to Model Y, compare it to any car from a legacy automaker who still doesn't understand what it takes to make a cohesive electric car, and this smokes it.
And not even only electric cars. This is going to be marketed towards CRV people, RAV4, you know, all the Mazda, whatever, their SUV, like those.
Yeah, why would you ever buy one of those lame pieces of crap? Just get this.
And as soon as the standard model
And I've
comes
got to
out,
review those from time to time, and I'm just like, oh, they're all just terrible.
Yeah.
Then
But
this is so much fun. It's also
is
quite
so
a bit
much
more
fun.
expensive than those.
But once the $45,000 one comes out,
Yeah, then you're in the region.
you're in the range, and you're
But
not going to be losing too
A
much.
friend of ours just bought a brand new CX-5 Premium for
Yeah.
35 grand, pretty much out the door.
That's hard to beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're still in a different price category.
Yeah.
All right, with all that said, I think that wraps up our time. I can't thank you enough.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
This guy came all the way from factory delivery
Yep.
to spend, nears makes no difference, 3 full days with us.
It was a great time.
Oh, almost
I loved
4
it.
days, right?
Almost
Because it
4
was 2
days.
halves.
And I still have to go home and probably won't get home till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
And you won't get home till
That's
super
okay.
late tonight. And everyone needs to go subscribe to the Rivian Tracker YouTube channel. He'll be filming
Thank
a
you.
bunch of content
Yep.
with this. We'll be sharing your stuff as much as we can on our side.
Appreciate you.
And
Likewise, I'll be making, once you get all your videos up, I'll be making kind of I have a R2 hub on my website where it gives you all the information on R2 that you need to know. So I'll be throwing them all there.
RivianTracker.com.
RivianTracker.com. Yeah, so you'll be able to find all that content there for those new people, especially who are coming into this world.
And also a big shout out to that iPhone for not overheating. That's
And also,
impressive.
it got really quiet suddenly because
Yeah,
the Model
Scott
Y
just decided to leave.
left because the HVAC is really loud.
Yeah, well, she has it on maxi.
No, I get it. It's too hot out here for that.
Also, yeah, speaking of HVAC, quiet HVAC in this.
Everything about it's quiet, even charging. Like it's,
Oh yeah, that was one more question. How's the HVAC?
it's really good.
Yeah, very good.
I have had to. I'm bald. I don't know if you knew
AC
that.
are amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I have no. And the sun is not good for my head. Ventilated seats are like the best in the world. I test drove the Cayenne EV we have,
Yeah.
and it's comparable.
Yeah, the Cayenne's got the same type of
Amazing.
You know, you're like
sounds
on an air table.
It sounds like a jet engine taking off, and I
Yeah.
don't care because it's great. And then the HVAC is really good to the point where it's like 98 or 100 outside. I have to lower the HVAC because I'm getting.
That reminds me, they fixed all the complaints about my internal HVAC noise from my first drive. It no longer makes all the noise by the windshield.
You know what else they fixed? You may
Pet
not.
mode, they have pet mode.
They have pet mode, yes, but
We didn't get to do the video of looking at the temperature in the back of the car.
I'm going to.
So subscribe to Rivian Tracker
Yeah.
because I've asked Jose to make this video of look at when you leave it in pet comfort on the hottest day he can find.
Yeah.
First, second, and third row temperature.
Good
I
news. We got
also-
triple digits in Florida coming up.
I also want you to do it with R1 next to it, with
Yeah.
your R1S.
You mean
So
with all the air vents?
with all the air vents?
Yeah.
Yep.
But what I was going to say is one of my biggest complaints I had with R1 is the HVAC. You know, if you ever have HVAC blowing at full speed and you like tone it down just one notch,
And
it goes really low.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that goes from like 100 to 40.
that's R1 for you.
This has been, that fixed it. They fixed it here, and finally it feels like 190, 80, 70.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's the little things, but it's just like, this is just so better.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is going to come to Gen 3 R1 next year, hopefully. So like, it's going to get like, R1's going to get even better too. So
And another big takeaway is when you buy an R2, you buy it from a company that cares to make their product better
Yeah.
for their consumers.
Yeah, all the
Whereas
time.
When you buy any other type of vehicle off the shelf, like my mom bought a Porsche Macan EV and didn't get a single software update for 20 months, you
that's
feel
rough.
like you're left on an island alone. And that's what buying a car used to be like.
Yeah.
But now that it's 2026, cars can be connected and get better. And this does. And so I want to say a big shout out to the Rivian software team for constantly
So good.
pushing
They're the
updates. It's awesome.
I don't see why anybody would not buy a Tesla, a Rivian. Would you say Lucid?
No.
Okay, just
Not
Rivian
yet.
or Tesla. A Rivian or Tesla these
Yeah,
days.
we'll have our Lucid Gravity coming probably by the time this video gets up.
Yeah.
And
They'll
we're
get
gonna,
there. They'll
We're
get
going to
there.
learn, but I don't.
Not
they're
yet.
going to have to convince me.
They have to convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's like you buy a Rivian or you buy a Tesla. That's the right choice.
Totally. And that's what I drive like 99% of the time. Thanks so much to you all for watching this video, and we'll see you on another one again soon. Thanks again to this guy.
Bye, guys.